Even thoughts that go on in the safest corners of your mind are picked up by your specific person, even if there is silence between you. Doesn't matter if it's been a day or a month or a year. If you are thinking about your specific person in one form or another, even if there's no contact, even if there's no interaction, they are picking up on it. If that statement worries you, then there's a potential that you have been thinking the wrong thoughts about your specific person, and that may be why you haven't been getting the results that you wish. If that statement excites you, then good, because in this video, I want to explain to you why this is the case and how you can use it for your benefit to ensure that your specific person is picking up on exactly what you want them to create the results exactly as you want them to be. So if that's something that you need, I would highly recommend you stick out to the end of this video to ensure you are going about it the right way. Hi everyone, my name is Matthew, and from this moment forward, I am your go-to manifestation coach. Now I show up 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, to provide you the best, most informative, and practical manifestation advice. So if that's something that you feel you need in a channel, it would be of huge benefit to you to subscribe to this one. And when you do, be sure to click that bell icon so you don't miss any future game-changing videos. As you're enjoying this video, if you could drop me a like and a comment to let me know. And if you need any help with your specific situation, down below in the comment section and the description are the links to my services and membership to help you on your journey. So once you're done watching this video, go check them out. But thank you so much for your time. Now into this video. So your specific person picks up on what you are feeding your subconscious mind regarding them. Now there's an analogy that I really like for this. I spoke about it, I think like 2 or 3 years ago on a short. I think it's great. Imagine the things that you are feeding your subconscious mind to be like a voicemail that you leave to your person. You ring them up, there's no answer, and you sit there with that phone to your ear and you're just yapping. The stories that you have going on in here that you're feeding your mind is exactly what you put on that voicemail. So if you're saying things like, they're just too stubborn, they're clearly not interested, if he wanted to, he would, if she wanted to, she would, oh, they're just a user, they're just a narcissist, they did this, they did that, I really want them to hate themselves for what they've done. Imagine all of that being fed into a voicemail. Do you think the person listening to that voicemail would want to go, yippee, let me call them back? Probably not. If I was to receive a voicemail with the things that I just referenced there from someone, I'd block that number. Can't hold a mirror up to me like that. I'd block it, donezo, not interested, because why would you go and chase something that makes you feel that way? Or to someone that's so like eager to tell you those kind of things about yourself. Of course, example, analogy, but this is very synonymous to what it is that you are doing when you feed your subconscious mind the stories that you are feeding it. If you are feeding it things like that, then don't be surprised that the person on the other end is replaying that version you are claiming them to be. If you are feeding it things like they're too stubborn, they don't want to, if they did, they would, if they did all of this, then don't expect them to come running at you, because that's not what your consciousness regarding them reflects. And you can only experience what you are conscious of being true. So if you want them to show up for you in a nicer way, you need to leave them the nicest voicemail you possibly can, which is seeing them in your mind as the best you can see them, seeing your relationship as the best you can see it, and seeing yourself as the best you can see yourself. That way, if they pick up the phone and hear, we're in this loving relationship, it's the best thing that's happened to either of us, I have so much unconditional love for you, I feel safe and secure when I'm with you, you're the best thing that's ever happened to me, and I'm happy to be the best thing that's ever happened to you, they're going to be like, hell yeah, I'm ringing them back. Tell me this in person. So consider that analogy as you go forward. But the reason why this is the case is because your subconscious mind is what creates your reality. Your subconscious mind, through the stories that you feed it, puts the pieces in your reality together to prove those things as true. So if you're feeding your subconscious mind the story of, if he wanted to, he would, which is, he's not, so he clearly doesn't want to, is basically what that's saying. Or they're so stubborn, I can't get them to do anything. Or once they break up with people, then they're done. You're feeding your subconscious mind a story, and your consciousness reflects they won't. In one form or another, they won't do it. and therefore they don't do it. Because your subconscious mind is the creative power of your reality, and your subconscious mind has connections to everything and everyone on this planet, whether it has been a day, a year, sorry, I got little hiccups, 5 years, 10 years, it will still pass those stories across. And until those stories are reflected, it will still continue to feed those stories across. Every person I have ever met, ever, whether it was a good experience or a bad experience, I have the awareness that we aren't in contact. Therefore, we stay out of contact. I have some story of these individuals that keeps them at bay. Now, it is my experience that when I change those stories, I get results, regardless of how long it has been. There was a time, probably over a year ago now, where I was just curious as to how someone that I hadn't spoken to for years was doing. And I thought about it, and I didn't even really want an answer. I just wanted to imagine them doing well. So I went inward and I just had a few brief inner conversations where they were like, yeah, I'm doing amazing. This is going well for me. My career is booming. This is well. And I let it go. I was just satisfied to think they're doing great. Send them some unconditional friendship love. Go on with my day. I think it must have been about 3 weeks later, they randomly popped up. It had been years since I've spoken to them. And while we didn't necessarily end on bad terms, it's one of those things where it's like we grew apart, time, distance, and that separated between us. And my consciousness was just that of, it's over. Our friendship is come to an end. But yet by just simply seeing them in a loving way in my mind was enough to get a reflection in reality of them showing up lovingly. And they did. They showed up saying everything is really good. I'm really happy that things are doing well for you, as in me. We should catch up sometime. And it was nice. And that was that. It had been years. But by simply shifting my consciousness and seeing a different story about them, my subconscious mind got to work, played chess with my 3D reality. That piece goes over there, that piece goes over there. And before I know it, I had a result. Even with silence, even with growing apart, even with us having two completely different lives going on, we still were able to have that little chat, that little, hey, everything's great, I hope everything's great with you kind of conversation, because my subconscious mind didn't go, it's been a couple of years, the ties are severed. Everything and everyone in your reality is connected to you, and your subconscious mind will move what needs to move to make it happen. Think of them, and here's another little analogy, think of them like actors in your play that you are writing. If you want them to play a different role or like a different character arc, write a different one in consciousness. Go inward, see them differently. See them being who you desire them to be. See yourself experiencing them how you desire to experience them. Send them unconditional love. Send them peace, send them joy, send them fulfillment, and watch the results flow in. Because you get what you are, not what you want, and you get back what you give out. If you give out unconditional love, you get it in response. If you give out abundance, you get it in response. If you give out time from others, you get it in response. As long as you're doing it from a place of uncondition. If you're doing it to get it, then that's obviously a whole different story, which Monday's video slightly touched on. But if you can send out uncondition, you receive unconditioned back. Doesn't matter how long it's been, doesn't matter how silent it's been, doesn't matter how bad things have been, because I've also had experiences as well where people that I thought would want to see me dead before they sent me a nice message have popped up after a long time, cleared the air, and managed to sort of friendly goodbye from there. So no matter what your experiences are, your subconscious mind can shift them around and will when you feed it the right information. Does not matter if you're in interaction or not. If you've been in contact within the past year or not. If you ended on good terms or not. If you feed a new story, you get a new outcome. The best way to create that new outcome is coming from a position of being, which brings it, as opposed to doing to get it. Be that version, see it in your mind as though it's already done, and have the satisfaction that that is the case. Move on. When I say move on, I mean go on with your day, not let it go. If you don't want to let it go, that's fine. But go inward and see it as done and enjoy that, then go on with your day, more so than doing it so you will get a response. If you want a deeper explanation on why the difference and what the difference is, go on to Monday's video 2 days ago, check that one out. But your specific person picks it up even if there is silence. They hear that voicemail. Make sure you're sending them a lovely voicemail. Make sure the way that you see them in consciousness, whether it's through visualization or in conversations or affirmations or whatever technique that you desire to do, make sure that more consistently you're going back to loving stories, loving outcomes, positive stories, positive outcomes. Then you're allowing your mind to go to things that reflect that they won't do what you want them to do, or that they do things you don't want them to do. Your subconscious mind does not know what's real and what's not. It only knows, you're feeding me this, I push that out. Make sure the voicemail that you are sending them is something that they would want to call you back and talk about in person. If you can do that, then your subconscious mind is going to ensure that you get the right outcomes, as some of my sort of anecdotes here have suggested. And of course, you can look around and see plenty of success stories of other people saying the same thing. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, drop me a like and a comment to let me know. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and be sure to click that bell icon. And if you need any one-to-one help with your situation, or just more help from me in general, down below in the comment section and the description are the links to my services as well as my memberships, which offer plenty of things to help you on your journey. I recommend you go check them out. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.